Hey guys, it's Jesse here, and we are back with some predictions and some, ways that these teams are going to win. And it is the conference championship. There are four teams remaining: the Seahawks, the Rams, the Patriots, and the Broncos. Two Mike coaches and two Sean coaches. And my prediction is that we're going to see a Sean versus Sean Super Bowl because the Broncos and Rams will end up beating their opponents this week. So let me show you my chart and reflect on the previous week, the divisional round. So right here, I got two of my predictions correct. We got the Texans Patriots, predicted the Pats to win, and they did. And then the Rams Bears, predicted the Rams to win, and the Rams ended up pulling off a victory. Obviously, the 49ers got clapped by the Seahawks, and the Bills lost in OT to the Broncos. But here, we got Patriots-Broncos 23-20. This could be a possible overtime game once again for the Broncos, and a 30-28 Rams victory over the Seahawks. Maybe a game-winning field goal there. Let's start with the NFC side of things, even though that is the second game that will be kicking off. I think these Rams are going to win due to the fact that they have two healthy running backs. The Seahawks, Zach Charbonnet, sadly just tore his ACL in the previous game against San Fran, and I think that's going to hurt them because this Rams defense is very solid and will probably get after Sam Darnold. And we might see a game that's kind of like the first time the Rams Seahawks faced. It'll be a little bit defensive, but I think the second half is definitely going to be a lot more offensive because the teams are going to get rolling with Jackson Smith and Jigba, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, K9, a lot of other threats on these teams. And both these teams have very good trenches. Their O-lines are solid and their D-lines are solid. You got for Seattle, DeMarcus Lawrence, Leonard Williams, along with some other notable pass rushers. And they've got some pretty solid corners in Reek Woolen and Devon Witherspoon, alongside Nick Emenwari at safety. And then Julian Love as well, with Ernest Jones in linebacker, while the Rams have Byron Young, Jared Verse, Kobe Turner, among other names. And it's going to be, a very good game because this is the third time they're playing. Just like the Seahawks-Niners, but this is going to be a lot better of a game than the Seahawks-Niners was. And, yeah, the Rams will squeak it out because I think their run game is just going to be too powerful, especially because they like to run 2, even 3 tight end sets, even though they have Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams at wide receiver. And I think Matthew Pafford is just going to be too good in this game, even though the Rams have been on a little bit of a bumpy skid as of the last few. And now, into the Broncos-Patriots game. Obviously, I'm not going to go against the Broncos, and especially because the New England Patriots are in it. I am not a liker of the Patriots, to say the least. I do not like any of the teams in my division, but I do not hate them. But out of all the teams that I dislike in my division, I dislike the Patriots the most because they have had the most success in my lifetime. But I just think also the Broncos are going to win this in the trenches. I think with Luke Wattenberg being questionable, they may see some pretty good blocks out of their O-line if he is able to return, and their D-line is going to win against this Patriots O-line. The Pats have allowed 5 sacks in the past 2 outings against playoff teams in the Chargers and the Texans, and I think in this game, the Broncos are at least going to bring them down 3 times and create a lot of pressure situations where he's forced to roll out and even put contains, so he steps up into the pocket and runs right into those contains and might end up getting sacked. I think also he will end up fumbling, possibly even throwing an INT, but I don't know about that. He is pretty safe with the ball. PS2 is going to be locking down Stephon Diggs Diggs is not going to go over 70 yards in this game. And Riley Moss on Moody. We'll see how that looks. You know, there might be a few DPI penalties called for some reason. Dre Greenlaw against Hunter Henry is an intriguing matchup. And hopefully these linebackers can get it done against Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson on the ground. And another thing to watch is, will Sean Payton run the ball? Jarrett Stidham is playing because Bo Nix fractured his ankle on a stupid QB run that shouldn't have been really called against the Bills in OT. But I think Stids can get this done as long as they kind of run the ball, get it to their playmakers, give it to Marvin Mims, get it to Evan Ingram, get it to Cortland Sutton, and as long as drops and penalties are not a big problem, I think they can squeak this one out. Run the ball with Jaleel McLaughlin. He's the better running back. He's better than RJ Harvey. But yeah, with all that said, I think it's going to be Sean Payton versus Sean McVay in the Super Bowl. Rams-Broncos, this is the only Super Bowl matchup that is possible that has not yet happened in the past. And I'll see you guys next week for the Super Bowl prediction, maybe even a little bit longer after. But as always, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces!